Covalense Test Automation Framework. cTAF is a simplified, robust, and complete end-to-end test automation framework for testing enterprise-class applications. It provides an intuitive way of creating automation test suites for distributed systems with multiple subsystems. Test automation process in cTAF consists of two stages: design stage and runtime stage. In the design stage, the test designer models the test scenario using cTAF Workflow Modeler. The cTAF Workflow Modeler contains a rich library of task widgets, such as Web Service Widget, Database Widget, Selenium Widget, and many more. These task widgets can be dragged and dropped to the workflow designer to create an end-to-end test scenario. The workflow scenarios thus created is saved in a workflow model file, which is imported during the runtime to define test cases. The next stage in cTAF is runtime stage. Here testers can create or execute test cases of the modeled workflow. cTAF Test Organizer provides a user interface to define the test cases and organize those into test suites and projects. Test data for the test cases can be specified manually with a user interface, or can be imported from a spreadsheet or XML. The test cases, thus organized, could be run with the click of a button, or alternately, run automatically, in a batch mode, at a scheduled time. cTAF has the provision to define multiple test execution environments, wherein test cases could be run in parallel for various systems under test, in order to produce and record the test results. Centralized user roles and privilege management, global and environment-specific configuration management are some of the key features of the product. The Workflow Modeler is one of the powerful features of cTAF that helps to automate complex test scenarios. cTAF has a vast variety of task widgets that are organized into two groups. One group is the generic cTAF tasks. The other is customized cTAF tasks. Creating the workflow is as simple as dragging and dropping the task widgets from the palettes and connecting them to each other. Here is an illustration of how a workflow is created using multiple task widgets. For each task, define the properties as shown. In a similar way, continue to define other tasks and complete the entire workflow. The property value can be hard-coded, or a logical name can be provided that can be configured dynamically during runtime. Shown here are few complex scenarios that have been pre-modeled by Covalense to automate 4G billing (BRM) system for one of our telecom customers. The next stage is cTAF runtime project creation. Login into cTAF application. As illustrated, a workflow process comprises of several workflow steps. Each step represents a system process or activity such as a web service, database task or command task. Each such step requires an input to be provided. The input could be in the form of XML. cTAF has provision to generate suitable inputs based on the task type. The file menu consists of options for generating Excel or XML-based inputs based on the task type. We now demonstrate the input creation methods that we just described. This feature helps to generate the input, such as XML files, for the web service tasks. Once created, the input files are downloaded. This feature is used to upload the workflow created earlier as well as the necessary input files. The supporting XML files need to be uploaded in cTAF. Create the project for the scenarios to be tested using the cTAF user interface. Add the test suite under the project. A project can have multiple test suites. Assign the workflows to the test suite that was created earlier. You can generate test data either through Excel sheet or using test data entry user interface. Using this feature, the tester can generate bulk test data. Select the modeled workflow. Select the particular step to generate the Excel sheet. Select the dynamic fields of each step. By clicking Generate Excel, you will get the link to download Excel sheet. Download the Excel, fill the dynamic field in Excel with test data. Associate test data to Excel. The second option is using the user interface to fill the test case data. Finally, create test cases under the workflow. Test case will display all tasks associated with the workflow. Click on Required Template XML link. Select the fields to be modified, which will allow you to fill the dynamic values during test case creation. Once the test data is filled, upon clicking Save, the test cases will be ready to execute. cTAF can run on multiple environments. In Environment Configuration screen, we can authorize the user to access specific environment. You can update the property details of each environment. Now, we will run the project 4G billing, which is created previously, with 4 test scenarios, in the environment where user have access. Once the test case execution is completed, the result will be shown in the graphical forms. The result console will print detailed status of each task associated. Click on Step Details to see the detailed input and output for each task. If a task is failed, cTAF displays the proper failure message to the user. cTAF has rich reporting features that are supported by a strong reporting engine. Click on Report option. Provide the project details to generate the report. Click on Summary Report to view the project level report. This will summarize that project ran successfully for 3 times and failed 2 times. View the test cases run log. cTAF also have few other features like importing or exporting a project, copying and pasting a workflows or test cases, adapters for UI-based testing using Selenium, provision for higher volume CDR creation. This concludes the overview of Covalense Test Automation Framework. Thank you.